Mothership landed half a century ago. This was my first Parliament album that I picked up many, many years ago. In the early 90s, I picked this album up. I'd heard this stuff quite a bit growing up around the house. Bootsy Collins wrote most of this, or co-wrote most of this album. I think there's only one track that he did not play bass on, and I think that was Handcuffs. He's got writer's credit on every other track on this album. Right around the time that I was 19, I started diving deep into like funk and soul. The funkiest I got was listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers before I started listening to bands like Fishbone. And I mean, there are a lot of bands that had some funk to them, but anyway, like that was the closest I got to Parliament, was listening to like Fishbone or something, right? So when I dove into this album, I just remember listening to it over and over and over. But what this album really did for me is it taught me to loosen up as a bass player, to give the songs or the compositions or even the jams more room to breathe, to not smother them with constant bass frequency. So that is what I learned from Bootsy Collins and from Parliament in general. It was to just kind of chill out, let things breathe a little bit. You don't always have to be playing, but when you do play, be tasteful about it. You don't have to like show out. These are the things that I learned from this album. So this is a very important album. It changed me as a bassist for sure. Most of my life I've been hearing this music, and technically I am older than this album slightly. I'm looking forward to as much time as possible to be able to listen to this album over and over again for decades to come, hopefully. If you want to check out any Parliament stuff, I'll have links in this video. If you guys like this hoodie, my brother Rob made it. Been doing some music with him. You guys can, I'll put some information in there on how you can get some of his stuff, or in the description below. All right, thank you guys for watching. Just had to break my silence somehow. Here we are. Got a lot more to get to you guys, but it's been quite a day. I just climbed out of my attic, climbed down from the attic about an hour or so ago. I've been up there all day going back and forth from the attic because we have not had heat, and we've had one of the coldest days this year. Was last night. We got down to 19 degrees, which is really cold for the South, you know, for Georgia. So temporarily it is currently working. So I'm hoping that it will continue to work, because I don't want to have another night where we're like freezing to death in here, or close to death, because that's not super pleasant. I do like to be cold when I sleep, and I speak on behalf of the whole family. We don't like the heat blasting when we're trying to rest, but this house can get really cold and damp, especially when it's super cold outside. So anyway, I've been dealing with all kinds of stuff, and I will catch up with you guys and tell you more about it, but I don't want to stray too far from the point of this video. Once again, the Mothership Connection turns 50 today.